So General Synod has just voted in favour of same-sex blessings in the Church of England. So what happens next? Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Rev Dan. So just a few seconds ago, General Synod, the elected leadership of the Church of England, except for the bishops, have just voted across what we call all three houses, the bishops, the clergy and the laity, to allow same-sex blessings in church. So what's going to happen now? It's a biggie, because this really is a divisive subject. You have Bible believing, biblical orthodox people, bishops, clergy and laity, and liberal, progressive, again, bishops, clergy and laity, really divided on this subject. And there's going to have reverberations across not only the Church of England, but across the Anglican communion as well. And so initial reactions on this, just kicked my camera. Initial reactions on this. The church, as I just said, is divided, and now it's going to be more divided. It's put people in positions who are Bible-believing Christians in very difficult positions, who will not do this in their parishes. The Church of England is made up of parishes. It covers every inch of England, and you will have parishes that will do this, and you'll have parishes that won't do this. It's what we, in a sense, already have. We have parishes that won't marry divorced people. We have parishes that will marry divorced people. We have parishes that won't have women clergy. We'll have parishes that do have women clergy. So it's kind of already there, except for this is more a divisive issue across the whole church, and with people looking in. And so for the clergy that hold a biblical orthodox view, will not use these pairs of blessings. So basically, if you live in a parish that wants to have that people want to have same-sex blessings, it's not going to happen. They're going to have to go to another church, but people will say, I want to go to my church. So it's very divisive, and it's very difficult for those of us who hold a biblical understanding of what marriage is. What we feel is going to be a big pile on in some areas, so we using social media, we really hope that isn't the way. We hope there's a graciousness and understanding that people do believe in the Bible, and but like I said, it's so divisive. So the church is divided against itself, and so going forward, I think the church is more divided and will be more divided. Which kind of goes on and tells us that the bishops are divided as well. So that the bishops which have received, they're supposed to have received biblical teaching, and they're the ones who uphold this. They're divided, and we see bishops who are now not upholding biblical teaching as they have received it since Christ, all the way down. That it's changing, and now they'll say different reasons for why it's changing. But it's changing. So they've gone against what they've inherited, and so the bishops are divided against themselves. We will have clergy, biblical orthodox clergy, in dioceses with bishops that are liberal, and that relationship will, for some, and then we have to see how this works out, will break down. How can you have two different views that are so different? So where's the episcopal oversight between, and the opposite way around as well? You can have a conservative bishop and liberal people. How can the bishop function under that? Is going to be a very difficult time of what we have to work out. Now they say it's okay if you're Orthodox. It's okay if you don't want to do this. It's okay. Well, it isn't, because what we've seen over the past few weeks is a lot of the Orthodox clergy and bishops have been quiet, and one of the reasons why they've been quiet is because we feel it's dangerous to speak out. It is dangerous that they come after you. And I've been at a meeting where someone said to the Bishop of Oxford, I'm standing up and I'm saying this at a danger that I'm never going to get a job in this diocese again, because now I'm speaking out for biblical orthodoxy, and now I'm exposing myself to you. He assured him that that isn't the case, but it's felt. It is felt across so many dioceses by so many people that if you put your head above the parapet, you speak out like I am now, then it's dangerous. So the church is divided against itself. The bishop's house is divided against itself. The clergy and the bishops can be divided. And there's also another thing, that the direction of travel. We see this with all these things. It comes in as one thing, and the direction of travel changes. So I can guarantee in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, this is not going to be still the same. The direction of travel will go. Now there's going to be a big push for same-sex marriage in the church. It's not going to stop here. It will go. You see it with different things like euthanasia in Holland and in Canada. Just people who are very ill now in Canada and Holland, is if you're depressed, always a direction of travel, all the time. So I believe that there is a direction of travel, and that's going to happen, and this is going to be continuing. Let's look at my notes. I also believe that this is a bigger issue than the Bible, because this isn't just about same-sex blessing, same-sex marriage. This is about biblical authority. We don't all agree on the Bible, even amongst Orthodox people. There'll be different thoughts on different things, but across the main doctrinal issues, we would fundamentally agree. Now, the difference between Orthodox and liberals is that there isn't an agreement on so many issues. So I would find that if someone didn't agree with same-sex marriage, they would be very they wouldn't agree with me on many other things, like what happens on the cross, the resurrection of Jesus, the authority of the Bible, which we're seeing played out with this. So there's many other things going on as well. So it's bigger than just the same-sex debate. Is about biblical orthodoxy, and we're very divided, and that's going to come into play as well. So the direction of travel, not just with the same-sex debate, will be other things coming in, and we saw that yesterday. We saw that about calling Father gender neutral, that we call God the Father gender neutral language, and that's coming from the same side. So we're already seeing this come in, and the direction of travel is not going to be great on that. And in a sense, finally, the Anglican Communion, 75 million Christians, most of them Orthodox, will split. I believe that they're going to split. And there was a warning by one of the bishops at General Synod in the debate that you do this and, we're going to split. They have a big meeting at GACON this summer, spring summer, and I think I can just see it splitting. And the Archbishop of Canterbury, who's the first among equals, should I say, all of the archbishops and the bishops, the first among equals, will lose that, and they will change it so someone else will be the first among equals, because they will see him as fallen, because actually the Archbishop of Canterbury and the Archbishop of York, and this is part of the problem, it's not just the bishops, the archbishops are fully supportive of this. The Archbishop of York is overtly, the Archbishop of Canterbury is trying to walk a line, but you can tell that he would do this if he could, but do the blessings, but he's the head of the Anglican Communion, so he won't. And so it's going to be messy, but it doesn't stop here. There's another General Synod in July, and more things are going to come back and more debate. I don't think anything can be done now. There can't be saved blessings now. I think it's got to wait till July until it goes through or voted through or something like that. So clergy, if they did that, they could potentially get in trouble. And just here's a big thing that I really wasn't aware of, and it actually came from the Archbishop of Canterbury's own lips, is the danger now of those Christians in the Anglican Communion who, well, I'll let you watch the clip, but what we've just done in the Church of England is going to affect their lives of our brothers and sisters around the Anglican Communion. And so it's a big thing. And I woke up this morning, I tweeted a video about it, and of Archbishop Welby speaking about this, and yeah, it's going to be devastating for them. So the decision that we made today in Synod has far-reaching consequences, and I don't think it was really understood within Synod, because it's all about this one agenda item, really. So there we are. It's gone through. We will see the fallout and the effect and what it is, and they all say we will be okay. We will be, those of us who are orthodox on this, it's okay for us not to do it. Will the bishops protect us when those of us who are going to get campaigns against us for not doing this locally? I don't know. So, yeah, there's a lot of prayer going to be needed, and we will see where we go. But we're going to have a lot more to talk about. So pray.
The differences we have here are small compared to those with many around the communion. This isn't just about listening to the rest of the world, it's caring. Let's just be clear on that. It's about people who'll die, women who'll be raped, children who'll be tortured. So when we vote, we need to think of that. This is not just about what people say, it's what they'll suffer.